And welcome to today's webinar. We are going to be talking about road and site design for wind farm engineering. So this is looking at using RoadEng really in the context of wind farm engineering and going over some of the things that we can really do to help with that engineering process. So the two key elements we're going to be talking about today really are our platform and our pad design and the road network that connects the wind farm pads together. So as we get started, I just wanted to go through a little bit of housekeeping. Of course, you are muted, but please ask questions if you have any throughout the presentation. You can do that using the Q&A section of your GoToWebinar panel. And then secondly, like all of our webinars, it is being recorded. We send out a link after the fact, so you can go and watch it over on our YouTube page. Okay, our agenda, it's pretty simple, and this is obviously an agenda written in layman's terms here. So we're going to start off by importing our pads and our initial road that we're going to work with as a land XML, and we'll show you later on when we add additional alignments so we can import additional pads and additional roads. We're going to then connect the pad to the road by creating a reference feature, go through and create our vertical alignment. And we are going to be using the SoftTree Optimal optimization add-on to RoadEng actually to help us create that vertical alignment. It automates that process and it really speeds it up. Go through and show you some additional alignments and how to bring those in, and then how to navigate between your different road segments. And then finally, just a quick look at exporting and what we can do from there. So our first portion of this demonstration is going to be defining the pad and then connecting it to the road. And as I just mentioned, we're going to import the defined pad and road location via land XML. Then we're going to define that pad through the creation of a reference feature and attach the pad to the road.
Thanks, Aaron. I'm just going to start by opening up a topography that's already been predefined. It's a terrain surface. This surface could be LiDAR, it could be a, excuse me, a GPS file, a shape file, any type of surface. While I'm doing that, I'm going to also bring in a land XML alignment, my initial land XML alignment, and it's going to be, here's all the alignments that exist in this land XML file. There is a lot of them. I'm going to be using alignment E, and it's just got a horizontal alignment. I'm going to be creating a vertical alignment in the next section, as Aaron said. Just going to import this. Okay, there's my alignment. Bring in my pads in the background. That's the next thing I'm going to do. Right click, plan options, background plus sign. There are predefined pads. There's a whole bunch of them. Add them in. There's all my pads. You can see all those circular features. Those are my pad locations. And this alignment leads exactly to this one pad right here. Make my pads terrain file a reference terrain. You do that by going under setup, location setup, alignments, reference terrain files, and then go down here to reference terrain 1. You can have multiple reference files. I'm just going to make that pads terrain as my reference terrain. Press OK. And OK again. The reason I'm doing this is so I can attach my road edge to my pad as an XREF feature, a reference feature. Before I can do that, I'm going to extend my last design point for my pad. You could, by the way, change this alignment if you wanted to. You can make these curves larger in our software. I'm not going to do any horizontal alignment because it's been predefined already from another piece of software. Extend my road down to the edge of the pad. That being said, you could change the horizontal alignment in our software or add a new horizontal alignment if you want to. Extend that to the edge of the bottom part of the pad. The pad has two equal halves. It's got a left half. This is the left side of the road, so it's got a left half, which is called Platform 2. As you can see, if you hover over it, it says Platform 2 right there. It's also got a right half. If you hover over the road exactly over that, it's Platform 3. So I got Platform 2 and Platform 3. I'm going to add those two as reference features. And you do that under the template editor. I've got a predefined template already in there. I'm going to add those reference features in. Go into my ACP width. Press the plus sign. Reference feature 1 is going to be Platform 2. And reference feature 2 is going to be Platform 3. And I'm going to attach the left side to platform reference feature 1, which is Platform 2, and attach the right side of my road to Platform 3, which is the reference feature 2. Let me just confirm that I did that correctly. This should be reference feature 1, yes. And then just press OK. And our road edge should snap to the reference feature. Let me just modify this a little bit. Move the road back a little bit more. There, that looks better. Okay, so you can see that the road edge is just snapping right to that reference feature all the way around the pad. And there's slope stakes that you can see coming around. So that's top of cut toe fill all the way around the pad. I'm going to put a reference point on the pad right here.
Go into our next segment now, which is creating our vertical alignment. So Jack, as I mentioned earlier, is going to be using our optimization add-on to RoadEng, so that's Softtree Optimal. He's going to use that to create the vertical alignment that's going to optimize both the road and the pad's earthworks together. So in here, he's going to set our variables and our constraints. Then he's going to automate the creation of that alignment and then review the cost and earthwork quantities. So that's our next section.
Okay, so you can see the pad still on the plan view. I'm going to change my screen layout so you're looking at it in profile and also have the alignment panel available. Choose Softtree Optimal. Screen layout. So this screen layout sets up my screen so that I have a profile, volumes, and a section window and the alignment panel. Show you how to optimize this road. There is no vertical alignment at all, so I'm going to show you how to create a vertical alignment using the optimizer. I did put a reference feature, a reference point at this location, which is the start of my pad, because I'm going to do something special with that portion. I'm going to make that so that the pad gets optimized as one unit and moves up and down as one unit. Go into my options, change my sample spacing so it's a little bit smaller so I can do it pretty relatively quickly. Change my standards and do fast curves. Change my grade to and plus 15, just in case. Just want to be able to catch everything between there. And then change my sag and crest K value to 20. Added it. Then I'm going to, like I said, I was going to treat the pad as a unit by itself. So I'm going to do that. It's going to be 0 grade going into the pad. And we're going to have linear. And the station's going to be about 10,000 to the end of the road. Added, or to the end of the pad, which is dot dot. So portion of it will be just optimized using K value and grade, and then portion of it will be optimized as a unit. No grade going through it at all, or 0 grade, and it's going to be linear. So it can have no curves in it at all. And I'm going to add a control point at the start of the alignment, just so that we don't move our alignment up and down at the start. You could add control points at other locations if you want to, but I want to be able to move my other points along the road and the pad up and down so they can balance the road. I'm not going to worry about any of these other things like constraints and cost. I'm just going to keep the cost the same. But it will try to create or find the lowest cost vertical alignment for you. That's what the optimizer is all about. And then just press process. And then after a few seconds, you should see definitely a lower cost road than $303,000. And it should be balanced. You should see very little red. Right now you see waste happening throughout the length of the road. So this red means waste. Just have to go through a little bit more and then find the optimal here. Okay, we just have a few more seconds. I should have actually added more points instead of 50, more cross sections instead of having the 50 stations or 50 sections. But once it gets to this point, it should be relatively fast. Once it gets to 7,000, it should be relatively fast. So what the software is doing right now is it's trying to find the best alignment, best vertical alignment that will give you the lowest cost. And hopefully it's balanced. And it's finding it pretty quickly, and it's definitely lower cost road than the original was. We're down to this gap right here. What this means is at worst case scenario, we are 0.02 away from optimal, and it should go down to nothing, and then it'll just stop. Sometimes it will not go it might take a long time to go down to nothing. So you would have to wait for a little while, just stop it when it gets to a reasonable level. There we go. We got an optimized road, and it's straight right through here, and it's pretty well balanced. You can see that it's nicely balanced. So what the software did, it took all my constraints and that I put into it, my standards and my constraints, and it made sure that it gave me a road that would meet those constraints.
Great, thanks, Jack. So our next section that we're going to be looking at, and we've done this with now one pad and one road, we're going to show you how in our version 8 and forward of the software, we can add additional pads and additional roads to our design. And then we're also going to look at how we can switch between those alignments.
Turn off some of these labels because they're just in the way. I'm going to add another alignment, and how do you do that? You go back to our alignment panel, and you can click on the plus sign beside the alignment, beside where it says horizontal alignment 1. Just add another alignment. It'll say now horizontal alignment. You can change that to, this one's name will be E, alignment E. This one's name will be alignment E1. Press OK. Press OK again. Get my alignment from my list of XML files. E1. Next. Finish. And there's my second alignment. You can see it there. It's going to the other pad. I'm not going to show you how to show you how to do another optimization. You just would go back and do all the other steps that I did before this in terms of optimization. I'm going to go straight into showing you the final pad locations and all the final roads. So here's a whole bunch of, there's the main road, and then the other roads coming off. And then I'm going to show you how to switch from one alignment to another. It's quite easy. You go back up here. Let's say I want to go to alignment 5. You set that current. Press OK. Now alignment 5 is current. That's that one right there. And let's say I want to go back to alignment 1. So I forgot to set that current. Let me just do that again. Set that current. So you can have lots of alignments in here if you want to. Now this main alignment is the current one. Okay, last thing I want to show you is output and exporting your alignments into different formats. I've already created an output sheet here that has a bunch of pages, plan and profile sheets, and you also see volumes here. And software can create volumes for it, cut fill volumes, mass haul volumes, and each page that you see, that volume that you see there is only for this page, the plan profile sheet, not for other pages. So it will keep on changing as you go down the pages. And then you get into sections, page 23, 24, 25. You see the different sections there, 100-foot cross sections. You can turn on and off labels if you want to. You can put in a minor grid. I just have a major grid in there. Turn on minor grids also. And finally, you can export this out to DWG or DGN if you want to. And it will save the entire, the plan profile sheets and also the cross-section sheets for you. You can save the plan, the profile, the section, or the multi-plot separately to AutoCAD or to MicroStation. Let me just do a quick drive-through before I leave you today. I'm going to just quickly show a 3D window of this main line and do a drive-through. Just a short drive-through. 3D, drive-through flyby, play. Speed it up a bit. I still have a couple of corners to go through. I think I'm going to leave it at that. I think you guys get the idea. Thank you very much. I'm going to pass it on to Erin one last time and she can wrap it up. But thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in the next webinar that we have in a couple weeks.